Good morning, Dan and Amy. So when it came to the discussion of the economy and their respective thoughts on tax and regulatory policy yesterday, Hillary Clinton had practiced. They had practiced this line so much, and she couldn't quite get it out.
Well, I think that trade is an important issue. Of course, we are 5% of the world's population. We have to trade with the other 95%. And we need to have smart, fair trade deals. We also, though, need to have a tax system that rewards work and not just financial transactions. And the kind of plan that Donald has put forth would be trickle-down economics all over again. In fact, it would be the most extreme version, the biggest tax cuts for the top percent of the people in this country that we've ever had. I call it trumped-up trickle-down because that's exactly what it would be.
Trumped-up trickle-down.
And then Robbie Mook high-fived himself in the green room after she finally got it out. Trumped-up trickle-down. We are now joined by Chief Economist at the Heritage Foundation and Trump Economic Policy Advisor Stephen Moore to respond to that shot across the bow
Booyah.
by Mrs. Clinton. Steve?
Good morning. By the way, I have a piece at FoxNews.com on this trumped-up trickle-down charge that Hillary made. So if people want to
you're pulling a Hillary. We have to go to a website to get. We got you right here. Give us the answer.
I take that very personally. So look, I mean, first of all, you can keep this election very, very, very simple. We're going to cut taxes, okay? Got that? We're going to cut people's taxes. Hillary's going to raise people's taxes. Is that, you can go through all these different machinations, but it comes down to that. Which is better for the economy? I don't think this is complicated, folks. We're going to cut taxes for businesses. We're going to cut taxes for families. We're going to cut taxes for every worker in America. She's going to raise taxes on virtually every American and every business. That's enough.
And Donald
There's
Trump.
There's a great book out, guys, by my buddy Larry Kudlow called JFK and the Reagan Revolution, on how the JFK trickle-down tax cuts and the Ronald Reagan trickle-down tax cuts, trickle-down came into fashion during the 80s when the liberals said that the Reagan tax cuts would never work, and we saw one of the biggest booms in this country's history. So the facts are not on her side. When you cut tax rates, you incentivize work, you incentivize businesses to move here, you incentivize people to save and invest. You get more of it. You tax something, you get less of it. You tax something less, you get more of it. We're going to get more work, you're going to get more investment, more GDP, and more jobs. It's that simple.
All right, so Donald Trump, part of his economic plan was to create 25 million more jobs. And how is he going to do that? Are we going to raise the retirement age or let in more illegal immigrants? How are we going to fill those spots, and what kind of jobs are those?
That's great. That's a great question. First of all, we believe there's about 10 million people today that are not in the labor force under Barack Obama that should be. So the biggest lie in America is that we have 5% unemployment rate. The real unemployment rate is closer to about 12% when you consider all the people of working age that have dropped out of the workforce. So by incentivizing people to work and reducing the welfare benefits, you're going to get more and more people into the workforce, number one. Number two, the tax cuts will increase GDP, bring jobs and businesses back to America. Number three, we've got this pro-America energy policy, so we believe we can create about 6 million jobs by producing American oil, gas, and coal. My goodness, we can put 50,000 coal miners back to work basically day one by just rescinding all of Obama's regulations and restrictions. So it's not that hard to do. We can get 25 million jobs in 8 years.
Well, here's the thing. It's interesting you bring up energy, and I know this is a particular focus of yours. You wrote a book on the topic.
There's a great book out on that. Book out on that.
Yes. What's the name of that book?
Thanks for mentioning it.
What's the name of that book?
Fueling Freedom, Exposing the Mad War on Energy by Stephen Moore and Kathleen Hartnett Wright.
I hear Stephen Moore is very good. We'll have to have him on the show. Steve, I want to, but here it seems to me, and the reason we talk about Trump is because you know what you're going to get from Hillary. You're going to get the government-centric view of the world. Everything, she's got a program, she's got another gambit. Yeah, so exactly. she's standard issue. You know what you're going to get. With Trump, you don't always know what you're going to get or what you're not going to get. And the debate on Monday night, we didn't get his discussion of energy as a catalyst for job creation and economic growth. That seemed to be a missed opportunity.
Well, I think I thought he nailed it. He said, look, we're going to produce American oil, we're going to produce our gas, we're going to produce coal. And by the way, I thought the last line of the night, personally, and this didn't get enough attention, but this shows you what a dingbat Hillary Clinton is. You know what her jobs program is? She said it in the debate. We're going to get ready, folks. Hold on to your chairs. We're going to have the government build 500 million solar panels.
Solar panels.
Yeah, I heard the solar panels. I thought of you.
Dumbest thing I have ever. I've heard a
It's
lot
all
of
solar panels.
ideas.
That's all
I mean, do
solar
so-
panels.
no,
That's
do
all
s-
ball bearings and solar panels.
What,
now,
no
these
more
days.
windmills. Now we're going to focus on solar panels.
You got to focus on solar panels. That's the key.
No, that's part two. You see, Amy, you're getting. First, we're going to build 500 million solar panels, and then we're going to build 100 million windmills. So,
And
Yeah,
then-
we're going to destroy the
and that's
tapestry of
gonna
America with these
as we
stupid
go back
windmills.
To pre-industrial age energy, folks.
Yeah, well then we pull up all the oil rigs and we move to switchgrass to fuel our engines. Or you don't need a combustion engine anymore. You got all this switchgrass out there too that the government can buy up and repurpose.
Yeah, people are going to drive around with cars with solar panels on their roof.
Yeah, well that's
I
it.
mean, really, it's so ridiculous. I mean, the left's wacko green energy thing. And by the way, they did this in Germany. This is the part I think Donald Trump should say. They tried this, 7 or 8 years ago in Germany, where they went all green. They went windmills. They went solar panel. They went all these biofuels. And they basically almost bankrupted their country. And they finally said green energy doesn't work, and they're back using fossil fuels. So we're going to repeat the mistakes of. And by the way, one of the things
Well, there's a reason why the Dutch don't do it anymore.
What really launched the Industrial Revolution and the big boom in America 200 years ago was we stopped using windmills and solar energy. We started using coal and oil and gas. This country was built on coal. We're going to put our coal industry back into business.
So with the next debate 2 weeks away, what advice and counsel would you offer Trump, or will you offer Trump, in terms of the talk on the economy, which of course will be revisited, tax and regulatory policy, job creation? What does he need to emphasize more than he did? What does he need to include?
Yeah, it's a great question. So I thought I'd give him a B on what was that, Monday or Tuesday night? Monday night. I give him a B. He could have done better, and I was so frustrated that there were so many missed opportunities that he didn't just whack her on. And one of them was that comment she made about trumped up trickle down economics. I mean, we knew that was coming, and I think he didn't quite handle that right. He's got to say, look, every boom we've had in this country in the 60s and 80s, you go back to the 1920s, when we cut taxes, good things have happened in this country. Hillary, you're going to raise taxes. That's going to decapitate the economy. How do you grow the economy if you raise taxes on businesses and workers? It's just so stupid. And by the way, you guys know that she has a 65% death tax in her plan?
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
They take 2/3 of what people earn their whole life away from them. And that is insulting. That's not even taxation. That's plunder. That's the government. Pretty soon, it's going to be Bernie Sanders up there. She's adopted all of Bernie Sanders' wacko left-wing socialist agenda.
Well, and Trump can also raise the fact that, cutting taxes, like when we cut the capital gains tax when your husband was president.
Exactly.
All right.
And Stephen Moore.
We tripled capital gains revenues when I need more time, guys. I'm just getting started.
All
here.
right, Steve. Steve, Chief Economist of the Harris Foundation, Trump Campaign Economic Policy Advisor. Steve, thanks for joining us. Appreciate it.
All right, see you guys. Take care.
All right, and he joined us on our Turnkey.pro answer line.